for people to visit. I have to say, it's surprisingly small, isn't it?
Well, I took a few photographs of it, and on every one it actually looked a bit more like Mount Rushmore.
Is the rock quite hard to sculpt from?
It's not an easy rock, to tell you the truth. It's a Devonian slate which has its challenges. I chose the actual sculpture partly here because it's quite a discreet place, but also because it's actually one of the few solid pieces of stone on this whole area.
So it's probably not going to last forever here.
I'd be hoping for 10 years, maybe longer.
Well, the incoming tide has forced me off the beach, so it's time to go back up top to meet one of the locals who finds the sculpture an outrage, and to meet a lady from English Heritage who commissioned the sculpture in the first place. Craig, the sculpture of Merlin on the rock down there, how do you feel about it?
I don't think the natural rock face should have been touched. There's been a lot of talk on social media, and I'm sorry to say that a word that has frequently been used is vandalism.
But it's hardly, a 30-foot statue of Mickey Mouse, is it?
It's not far off.
Susan, you're trying to get people to come down and enjoy Tintagel Castle, aren't you? And this is part of it.
That's right, this is part of a much larger scheme that we'll be installing here at Tintagel over the next few months. And they're really telling the story about the history and the archaeology of this unique site, because really the legend and the history are completely intertwined. And it's really there to bring to life the story of Merlin's Cave, Tennyson, and the history of why this beach was really important to literature and legend.
So you worry this will kind of open up the floodgates, so to speak?
Yeah, what worries me is that although the legendary heritage is very important, it is not as important as the actual factual history of the place. And the legend is swamping the history. There's hardly any mention of the 300 years of Cornish royalty that lived up there. Where are the details of those?
Obviously, Susan, people are fascinated about Arthur and Merlin, the legends, but don't you have a responsibility to address the Cornish history that Craig's talking about?
Definitely, it's really, really important, and what we're trying to do is balance the two. What's actually been here at Tintagel for a while is people come here thinking it's King Arthur's castle, and there's no information here about what it is, what the history of it is. So we're definitely telling that whole story. This carving is just one tiny aspect of our scheme.
Well, I think people will be for it, people will be against it, but hopefully one thing they will do is come down and enjoy the site.
That's right, no doubt we'll continue to argue about it.
No doubt. Thank you very much, both.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mike. So, James, you've got a brand new book out, another one.
Yes.